Hey everyone, I'd like to welcome you back to Real E-Cig Review. My name is Jake. If you haven't been to my channel before, welcome. So today I wanted to bring you a review on a device that's been, or a tank that's been reviewed pretty much by everyone out there. I guess I'll still make a review on it just because I really like this tank. It is the Kanger Protank. Basically, if you haven't heard about the Kanger Protank, you're living under a rock, because I've had such a hard time finding replacement heads for these because they sell out on websites as pretty much as quick as they get them in. My local vape shop, they get their shipments in on Fridays, and their Kanger Protank replacement heads are gone by the end of the day. But anyway, so if you haven't heard about the Kanger Protank, let me tell you a little bit about it. It's completely 100% stainless steel, and the actual tank part of it is glass, as opposed to something like this iClear 30, where the tank is some kind of plastic. I think it might be polycarbonate plastic, or same thing with the Vivi Nova, the mini Vivi Nova, or any Vivi Nova. So what the difference is between glass of the Kanger Protank and the polycarbonate plastic used in most tanks is certain juices. If it's really acidic, you can go out there and look at a whole list of juices that are known to crack plastic tanks. For instance, I was using a Mountain Dew flavored e-liquid in a standard CE4 Clearamizer, and it cracked the tank. I mean, I wasn't that mad. I mean, they're only like $2 or $3 each. But certain juices will crack plastic tanks if they're super acidic. So your super acidic fruity flavors, and also if they're cinnamon, like cinnamon twist, cinnamon swirl, red hot, like flavors like that, they'll crack through plastic tanks. With the Kanger Protank, it's all glass, and you don't have to worry about that. So let me show you how it works. So the Kanger Protank is a bottom coil clearamizer, glassamizer, atomizer, whatever you feel like calling it, as opposed to your Vivi Nova or your iClear that has wicks that dip down into the liquid and pull it up to the atomizer head and burn it. The difference is that the Kanger Protank has a bottom coil with replaceable heads. So let me take one out. So the head looks like this. If you look really closely, you can see the little teeny stub like wicks that sit at the bottom, and that way there's less space for the e-liquid to travel, and it's just burned right there. So you go ahead and screw that onto your bottom cap. Your bottom cap goes onto the Kanger Protank. And there you go. With a bottom coil, sometimes if you're on a wick like Vivi Nova or iClear, you'll have to rotate. If you're down low on juice, you'll have to kind of rotate it around to make sure you get all the wicks wet in order to not get a dry hit. With this, since they're on the bottom, as long as there's juice in it, your wicks are going to be good. So let me go ahead and show you this on my Vamo. There you go. It's a really nice looking device. Let's see. This particular head is 1.9 resistance. I picked up some low resistance heads strictly because they were all I could find. High resistance heads were sold out everywhere. I lucked out being able to find low resistance heads. So I'm gonna vape it at around 5.5 watts. Let me go ahead and take a drag before we get any further. I think I can turn it up a little. One thing about the Kanger Protank is the draw on this is really, really light. When you're taking a drag, you don't feel anything. It feels like you're sucking air until you open your mouth and vapor just pours out. So if you're used to a really tight draw, coming to the Kanger Protank, like compared to a Vivinova, the draw is 1,000 times lighter. So if you're coming from a Vivinova or a Protank or a standard cartomizer, and you're coming to the Protank, the first thing you're going to say is you don't feel like you're getting any vapor at all. It's not like smoking where you suck hard or anything. It's kind of hard to explain, but it's a really airy draw, and if you don't like that, you probably won't like the Kanger Protank. I've been using Vivinovas for a while, and I came to the Kanger Protank, and it took me a while to get used to the really light draw. There's literally zero effort you have to put forth into taking a drag. Once I got used to it, I absolutely fell in love with the airflow on this. When I picked up the iClear, I haven't touched my Vivinovas since I got the Kanger Protank. Took me about 2 or 3 days just to get used to using an iClear again, because the draw is so stiff compared to your Kanger Protank. So you guys can probably hear it every time I take a drag. It's got these airflow holes. It has 1, 2, 3, 4 or 5 of them. As well as on the 510 connection, it's got a little air ridge type thing. I don't know if you guys can see that or if it's focused. But that just provides phenomenal airflow on anything you put it on. As long as you like a light, kind of airy draw. You'll have no problems with it. I mean, it's going to definitely produce a more airy vapor. Obviously, it's not super thick. There's a lot of air in there, but it's definitely a satisfying feeling when you inhale it and you let it out. It's definitely satisfying. What else is there to say? It's the Kanger Protank. I picked this up from my local vape shop, or one of them, Electronic Sticks. They're based out of Utah, and they get their liquid from High Caliber e-liquid out of Las Vegas. But they're a good little shop. They don't overprice the stuff that they buy online. Like, I picked up the Kanger Protank in a kit with an extra replacement head, and it came with that a beauty ring if you were going to use it on an ego device, and it was $20 even. You can look around online and find them for as cheap as like 16, but then by the time you pay for shipping, it's going to be $20 anyways, which is why I ended up just picking it up from them. Mount Baker Vapor sells them. My Freedom Smoke sells them. Pretty much anywhere you can think of sells them. Right now, I noticed that they're kind of sold out in a lot of places, especially the replacement heads. So if you are lucky enough to find one, make sure you pick up some replacement heads if they're available, because they do sell out quite often. That's the best advice I can give you. Definitely pick up replacement heads, because once you get used to the Kanger Protank, you will not want to use anything else. I ended up falling in love with the iClear 30 strictly because I ran out of heads for my Kanger Protank. The heads on them, for me, for some reason, I don't know if I've been getting bad heads, but they usually haven't been lasting longer than 3 days for me. I've had this one in for a week and it's still going good. So I think I was just getting bad batches of the replacement heads, because they burn out really quick, and once they burn out, there's really nothing you can do to fix them. You can wash them and they'll perform good for about a couple hours of vaping before you start to get that burnt taste again. So definitely pick up some replacement heads. You're definitely going to want to do that. Alright, this video is probably getting pretty long, so we're going to jump into the reviews and ratings. As far as the look of the Kanger Protank, the stainless steel and glass, I really like this look. I dig it. I think it looks cool. if I had a stainless steel Bamo. I have fortunately ended up getting black chrome, which is a fingerprint magnet. But the tank alone, it looks really nice. It looks like a high quality tank. It does not look like a tank you would pay $20 for. This looks like a tank that you would easily pay $60+. It's really nice looking. The build quality on it is excellent. I've dropped it a couple times. Obviously it's glass, so if you drop it too hard, the glass is going to shatter. But I've dropped it a couple times. Tremendous build quality. I've never had it misfire, anything like that. And that's pretty much it. I mean, for 20 bucks, you can't go wrong. Give it a try. Pick it up from whichever vendor you like. Pretty much everywhere has it. I know it was designed by the guys over at Sun Vapors, or Kanger and sunvapors.com got together and came out with this, what some people are calling the game changer. So on the look alone, I'm going to go ahead and give that a 10 out of 10. I love this tank. The only downfall is that you can't change your drip tip. You can't use an alternate drip tip. Other than that, it's perfect. Build quality, 10 out of 10. Flavors, it brings across flavors very nicely. The first time I ever took a drag off my new Kanger Protank, it was the most phenomenal flavor I've ever had out of a flavor that I was used to. But it was almost like the first time you vape again. The first time you take a drag off some flavor that it was absolutely incredible to you, that's how it is every time you put a new flavor into the Kanger Protank. It's like rediscovering a new flavor. So as far as how it brings flavors across and the wicking system, I'm going to give the flavors that come across a 10 out of 10. As far as how long they last, I'm going to have to give it we'll go an 8 out of 10, because the heads do burn out really quick. I mean, I've had this iClear 30 head in for a week and a half, 2 weeks. Zero burnt taste, zero dry hits. So, if they can figure out how to get the heads to last longer, this tank would be perfect. All 10s across the board, except for the score on how often you have to replace heads. So I hope you enjoyed my video. I want everyone to stay charged and vape on. This has been Jake over at Real E-Cig Review. Have a nice day, everyone.